Hey, real life traders, good afternoon. I hope you're having an awesome Wednesday. This is Jerremy Alexander Newsome broadcasting live from the Shenandoah Valley in Winchester, Virginia. Interesting fact, this location has changed hands, did change hands 72 times in the Civil War. It's quite fascinating from north to south. But a beautiful location up here, phenomenal trees. I'm staying with a great family of real life traders, and they're just absolutely insanely exceptional, and I'm having a blast. I had a great trading floor today. Let's talk about a few stocks, but before I do, I'm going to hop over to a really, really cool website. It's called reallifetrading.com. You might have heard of it. And I'm going to show you a new article that was posted by Angie Barbosa. And if you go to articles, I think you guys might enjoy this. It's one of our first attempts at posting a quote-unquote stock list. So if you go to trading articles, I suggest if you get 5 minutes of your day, read any of these. All these articles are good. The guy who writes these things are awesome. The girls who write these things are awesome. Angie's list of stocks. Now, hopefully we don't get in trouble by Angie's list for doing this, but that's her name. Her name is also Angie. So Angie's list of stocks. Go ahead and click on that, and it pulls up these. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of review some of these stocks and see what they're doing. So let's, for a moment, review this market update. Some of these. Let's take a look at some of these. And what these lists are, these are stocks that I believe have weekly options, high volume, and are under $35, if I'm not mistaken. I think I could probably read it really quick. How dumb. Yeah, I can just read it. Okay, so Angie. So she posted this because Cheryl from the trading floor yesterday asked about it. She said, these are stocks I have on my watch list that meet all the following criteria. They're priced under $25 a share. They have good volume, and they're optional. There you go. Okay. So let's go look at a few of them. This was one of the trades that we took on the trading floor, which broke even today and didn't make anything, didn't lose anything. Let's hop over here to Alcoa. So let's take a peek at Alcoa and see what Alcoa is doing. And Alcoa, very similar to United States Steel, had a really, really good bullish run not too long ago. And at the moment, is going to be trading into some resistance. Unfortunately, this is not an amazing time to make some money on Alcoa, because as it bounces off the exponential moving averages, 1731 realistically is the target. Now, you can bring in some okay premium from doing some covered calls on Alcoa. Maybe do some put sales at approximately $16 if you don't mind owning shares. But if you do own shares, you could potentially do a $17.50 covered call for sometime in November, because there's a very, very strong resistance right here, which we'll likely trade into and bump our head against for just a little bit. Let's also look at ABX. ABX is a nice, interesting stock that's really, really been moving quite well recently. Back a long time ago, I forget who I was looking or talking to, but I mentioned, I think it was Troy Beinhauer, actually. I had a previous bearish entry on ABX around 15 and some change. Stop was right about there, and this thing has just been going bananas. We haven't really touched the 20 exponential in quite some time, so I think that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to form a small accumulation phase down here while the 20 exponential kind of cruises down and maybe presses ABX even farther lower. If we do make a lower low and a lower high, I mean, the trend is bearish on ABX, and we are making some serious bearish moves. But since we haven't really touched the 20 since, early September, that's where I think we're going to trade to probably in the next week or so. And ABX kind of makes me bring up silver. Silver, you can see, is really just kind of hanging out, pausing, banging its head against some of the exponential moving averages, and gold kind of doing the same thing. So metals right now, they've made some moves, are a little bit more bearish than bullish. Here's my gold chart, which is interesting that it saved on TradingView. And I talked about edges bearish, potentially small retest Tuesday, Wednesday, and that's exactly what's going on right now, Wednesday. So we're still retesting, we're still within this pivot, and as the moving averages come down, it likely should continue the bearish trend. So if we start making lower lows and lower highs on gold, I too would be more bearish than bullish on that guy. Really, the ultimate target is about $99.80, maybe $100. It'll take some time to get down there, maybe a month or two, but if we do get down there, it'll be quite interesting to see what happens. Let's look at BBRY, one of my least favorite companies, Blackberry, just because they don't I don't know how they make money. I don't know how they're still in business. Well, I actually do know how they're in business. The government and federal employees and big companies like Nationwide Insurance, they employ people, and those people who need cell phones, they use Blackberries. So they get contracts, and I think that's kind of what BlackBerry does and how they do, how they're still in business. I don't know. But anyway, it's just kind of a random tangent. BlackBerry, so we're in a distribution phase. We're trading sideways. We are in a channel. This is a confirmed resistance, boys and girls, on BlackBerry. So if we do, in fact, begin to roll over, we could pull up the Stochastics, when it's at a confirmed resistance and rolls over, we can be more bearish than bullish. Well, we got to the overbought region, and right now RSI is overbought, but the stochastics, we're at a resistance, and we are not rolling over. So that says to me that we could pause here and then likely and potentially break out lower. I'm sorry, I apologize, break out higher. The long-term simple moving averages, we're above them on BlackBerry. So my thought process would be, if we really kind of pause here for maybe a day or two, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a week, we have a gorgeous gap here. If we pause, trade sideways, and break out, I would indeed on BlackBerry, and I know it's kind of hard to say this, I'll do my best. I would be more bullish than bearish on BlackBerry. It's a huge gap to fill. This could even be a ginormous accumulation pattern, and we might even be going higher on BlackBerry. So it's going to be interesting to see. This is a very volatile little cookie. And if you want to maybe bring in some covered call premium, if you have shares, I know my good friend Majid had some shares for a while, 13 or 12 could be some good premium on BlackBerry also. So to hop over just really quick to update you guys, I'm still in Apple. We talked about Apple for a while. Apple is paying a few mortgages today, and I made a wager and a guarantee with my students today in the trading floor, and I'll tell you guys about that more in the future as and if it plays out. And of course, if you're in the trading floor, you know what that wager was, but that'll be interesting to see if it plays out. Facebook, cute little candle today off the 100 simple moving average. I'm really interested to see how this plays out. I'm in kind of a complex trade right now on Facebook. Not really, but kind of. 300 shares. I'm in a 78 covered call that expires Friday. I am in a 72.50 protective put that expires in December. And I sold the 71 put that expires last Friday of November. So I am in a covered call. I'm in a collar, and realistically, I'm in a collar, and the bottom side is also a bear put spread, which is bringing in some premium. Okay, so I paid about 500 big ones for my protective puts. Paid about $500. I brought in approximately 111 for this put sale, and this covered call I brought in about 70. So my goal is to pay off these protective puts, make them, cost zero, and if Facebook does continue down to my target of approximately 200, which I expect it then at that point to bounce even farther, then that's great. I'm in protective puts. I've protected my downside. I have mitigated my risk. If Facebook bounces, great. I'm in shares. I'm happy. That's what I wanted to do. And I think all is well at this particular point in time. So I'll kind of keep you guys updated on those two. Those are really the only things I'm in at the moment. As far as a long-term swing trade, First Solar triggered bearish last 2 or 3 days that we talked about in the trading floor. So remember, guys, the trading floor, it is not only day trading, it's also swing trading. The market's been kind of boring, I will agree. Not sensationally strong. It's getting a little bit overextended. I do expect the market to have a little bit of a thrust higher in the next week or two, and then a retracement, maybe a semi-significant 1, 5, or 10% at max. But regardless, it's been a blast already, 3 days in, and the trading floor, which is only $99, 1 to 4 Eastern Standard Time, last hour recorded. We turned on the live chat feature today, and that room went bananas. So I'm excited about it, guys. It's phenomenal. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching the market update today. Still don't exactly know what I'm going to call this thing, but if we just keep calling it market update, I think it'll just keep being called market update. I don't know. Anyway, you rock. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Remember, love life, live life, and trade it. I'll see you later.